Welcome back to Let's Play Below with Honest Dan. We're on to part 4. Let's have a recap of where we got to. So we've actually explored all the way down to, I think it's floor 9 we've cleared. Yeah, and we got to the point where we're able to push down into the lowest darkness area. However, we did skip the ice caves earlier, accidentally. And we didn't want to backtrack all the way to go into them, so we said that we'd go back later. We're very low on crystals, if I remember correctly, so this will be good for us to actually farm some crystals regardless. Just to give you an update on where we are with our items, we only have got 2 jars. That's one of the biggest problems I foresee with trying to do it all in one life. Food supply is good. We're avoiding using campfires too much because we essentially, if you stay alive for a long time on a life, then you will run out of campfires, and that means you can't get to your storage and you can't cook food. So we're trying to use them sparingly. Our supplies are good. We got a few things in our stash as well. Explosive arrows is what we're focusing on. We'll be constructing some of those when we find some string next. Our weapon supply is looking fine. Probably equip the new bow that we found. We'll save these pieces of armor for when we're low on health or when we're down in the darkness. We can unlock a bit more of our storage when we next go to the campfire. And yeah, this is the state of our lantern so far. Okay, so let's get going. So the ice cave for me is, it was the first scary bit based on just I constantly felt like I was going to die. And I love how it's basically creates an anxiety and a worry based on the environment rather than the enemies. You've got to fight enemies, it's the same enemies, but you constantly, it's the only place where you really have to worry. Well, there's the odd exception, but it's the main place you have to worry about essentially freezing to death. And prior to this, you really don't need to worry about that temperature, and it's easy to forget for that reason. So the key for us is going to be making sure that we use bonfires when we, or maybe not the bonfires, but the little fires you can light within the dungeon. We use those. We're going to try and search the area exhaustively, so yeah, we may not want to use every single one we find, as we may need to backtrack a little bit. However, the great thing about the ice area is the lack of traps. You can run around freely in the ice area, which is nice considering essentially you need to run around and find somewhere to warm up sometimes. So, oh, I got my bow out by accident. Didn't want to use explosive arrows that close. So these are the things you use to keep warm. You can see that it brings back our little our stat for staying warm up top. You can also drink stews. That's another way to keep warm, which is nice. Let's try and explore the rooms fully. As I said, no traps means you can kind of run about pretty freely, and you don't have to worry too much about the enemies. There's the large crabs are the most dangerous enemy you're going to come across in here, which is that one there. If you just stun them, they're pretty simple to take down. I have a habit of slashing off the crystals as well. So I kill the enemy in a decent spot, and then I go ahead and keep slashing the sword and hit the crystals off the edge of the platform, which is a bit of a thoughtless thing to do. But I've got a very bad habit of doing it. Okay, let's warm up one last time there. How's this room looking? Exit bottom left. I think if I remember correctly, this area tends to always be an upside down heart shape. Also, you are able to get an item which will help you in these areas. There's a hat that you can find and use, which looks like a winter woolly hat. But we haven't come across it in the game so far. Oh, I parried him, and then, well, knocked him back with the shield, and then managed to miss my final attack. We did take a hit there. There shouldn't be a problem unless we take another hit from a crab. Oh, was that a little crab that hit me there? Okay, that wasn't the smoothest. Remember, kind of side objective of coming through this area is being able to collect lots of crystals, so I should make a conscious effort to collect these. Oh, we've got some more of these. So they seem to spawn afterwards. Maybe they come from corpses or something. I'm not really certain what causes them to spawn. How's our temperature and everything? Okay, temperature's low, so we're not going to stay and fight these. We need to find a fire, and we need to find it pretty quick. Oh, are we blocked there? Okay, we're actually going to die if we don't eat that stew there. Man, it goes down faster than I remember. That was very unpleasant. I need to be more careful. I think I'm used to having the extra hat. Oh, I could have just come in here and stayed warmer. Right, give us the hat here. That would be pleasant. Yes, okay, we have got the hat here. Okay, we're going to have to drop a piece of armor, though. I mean, we don't particularly care for these things, so maybe we could just... Yeah. I don't know what the Fang Skull does or the Iris Skull. We're going to drop that. And we're going to equip this woolly hat to help us keep our temperature a little bit better. It doesn't say anywhere it does that, but you can make that assumption typically. We've got lots of scope to get food here as well. I think with the situation where it is, that we've just had to use a stew, we may use this bonfire here so that we can cook. There's fish in here as well, which means that it makes sense for us to harpoon some food and replenish our supplies as well. Oh, and we could also, I guess... Oh, I'm so bad at catching fish. Come on. I had the mistake also of accidentally going into one region. Okay, let's go into here then. So we're crafting the blue mushroom one mainly because it'll stop your stats going down, which most importantly that's the temperature one that we don't want to go down here. I'm wondering if we have any string in our inventory. I don't think we do. We've just used our final bomb arrow as well, so we might take one out in case we do need to use one and we haven't found the mats to do it at that point. Okay. Yeah, that should be fine. We did find another marble on the way. That seemed to give us that little extra area there, which is relating to our item storage over here. To the weapon storage, was it? Yes, we can put our default bow in there. Out the way. We'll keep the other things. As for the hats and items, we may be able to take this off, and then we can pick up the other helmet. So we're not just leaving it randomly on the floor. Okay. Now, can we actually catch some fish now? I gave up last time because I was failing constantly. But, I mean... Come on. Oi! Is it that hard? Or am I just really bad at it? There we go, okay. Seems better to run up to him and then do it quickly rather than try and hold it down. You gotta hold it down for a bit though to do the jab. Okay, so we're full on that. We've got these potions. We're gonna get cracking. Yeah, get cracking. Let's get on with this. Okay, so if you recall, we ran pretty fast. Now I'm trying to remember. Is this a? We're getting some like graphical kind of glitchedness here. I'm not sure if there's another way through. Oh, we should equip our bow and arrow as well. I don't know if we have to shoot. That to get through. I'm pretty sure we don't. And I think this is a glitch that they were to fix in the current beta patch of the game, but we're not using that at the moment. So it's not the end of the world. We can go around it. It's a shame if it blocked our progress when we're trying to do a no death run. That would be a shame, but I think we're going to be okay because we can loop around it. So it just means we've got to backtrack a little bit, but that's okay for now. How's the temperature now compared to... Yeah, you can see how much slower it's going down. We've been out in the elements for a lot longer. And essentially, I guess on this bit, it's really not as important to use the lantern, right? Because there's no danger. So maybe we should be using our torch instead. I'm pretty sure it doesn't give you any of your heat back through using the torch. Which is a shame. Because realistically, you're holding fire next to yourself, right? But it is what it is. It allows you to light the bonfires quicker, which can be useful when in combat. I guess that's the downside of having this out now, is that we won't have our shield. And we use the shield to defeat the double pincer crabs most of the time. I mean, we can defeat them without, or we can just not defeat them. That's another option. It's not that essential, I guess. Uh-oh. I mean, it gets troublesome when there's this many of them then. Eek. Okay, yeah, that's the problem you have, right, is... You can just start taking a few hits, and before you know it, it might be a lethal hit. Where's the exit here? It's not this area, is it? Must be lower down. Yeah, there we go. Okay, once again, we should keep an eye on temperature. It's one of those things that when it gets really low, without you knowing it, it could be too late. Okay, we're halfway. Halfway. That's okay. We've got some... We might as well light this up here as well. That means we can regenerate while we're fighting, which is something we're probably going to be doing anyway. To try and not take hits now. So you can see the difference of fighting it without a shield. It's a lot more luck based, well, not luck based, but the timing is important. Here's an example of me burning a wound to stop me stop me bleeding. Sorry. It's as good as using the most basic bandage. So that's another thing that the first time it happened, I wondered what was happening. I thought I was like my character was dying from hunger or something with the noises that were being made. Oh, this is a shame. There's a chance that we might be stuck on this, because this seems to be the southern exit of the cave, which means we're going to be unable to get round to that left side. Oh, no. We can keep going round, I think. We can keep going round. If this didn't hook up to the other side of where we got stuck a second ago, then we would have been in a bit of a bad situation. When you're very, very talented at fighting and you miss half of your attacks every time. Okay. So here we go, bottom right or bottom left. We're going to try and loop back to the area we got stuck at a second ago, so we're going to go left first. And as I said, the layout of this area, most times I've played it, has been an upside down heart. So this would make sense that this is going to loop around. And in the middle of the heart, there's a special area, you could say. Oh wow! I can't see. What the? Why can I not see anything? Oh, what the? Okay. I think my game just crashed. It definitely did crash. I'm sorry, people. Let's let's try again. That's very peculiar, isn't it? So I kind of did an explosive arrow at a large group of enemies, which seemed to kill them all, but I also was on one of the particles that you collect, the fragments for the lantern. So the combination of all of that then made the screen kind of go so we couldn't see what our characters were doing. Okay, we're back here again. Do we try and repeat? I mean, it's a repeatable bug. If so, I think it's working better now. Yeah. That was unfortunate, but it doesn't seem like we've missed out. At least. I might have lost one arrow. That's probably about as bad as it's gotten. Excellent. How's our survival stats right now? Temperature's good. Okay. That scared me then. I thought I was going to die, and that would have been one of the very least satisfying ways to die, where you feel it wasn't really your fault. And I've complimented this game before on its ability to make you feel responsible for deaths, like it is your fault. So yeah, really pleased that that didn't have a negative effect on our playthrough there. I think we're clear with that. I've only had one other crash in the game as well. I did take like a screen dump of it. The error message that came up, it basically said something along the lines of like the level is too large, and I relaunched the game and it was fine. But I've been alive for a very long time, and I thought is it to do with that, but I wasn't certain. Okay, so we do want to go up, but we'll do that on the way back, because I'm pretty certain that sorry, concentration completely. Must not die. I'm pretty certain the bit above us is the first mysterious area, I guess, where you go deep underground and kind of interact with those big spires of light. I grew into the habit of always doing the lunge attack, and that sometimes means I miss a bunch of attacks because I'm just jumping and missing them as they move, or as I miss aim. Okay, we will need to run back this way, so... Okay. Actually, we're losing a lot of health as well. Sorry, the running back this way is my... Okay. Almost died by the tiny crystals. That is not a good place to be. So we might need this fire is what I'm thinking. Yeah, we're going to try and save the fire and hope that there's one up on this screen for us in this room. There tends to be one almost every room. Yeah, there's one on the left we can see. They quite often are surrounded by enemies, which is a great way to do it, right? So you've got to put yourself in more risk. Oh my words, what's wrong with me? I've never found these smaller crystal creatures a problem before, but I'm taking a lot of damage through, I think just through underestimating the attacks they'll get off on me. Okay, we are thirsty as well, so I think we might pop one of these. But not quite yet. So you do struggle to find water down here as well due to it being frozen. I prefer not to use another campfire, so if there's a way for me to replenish my thirst without using one of my potions, then that means I don't need to get myself a new potion afterwards or a new stew. We might have a little dog chasing us in a moment. Yeah, and we're back to the other side of this now. Let's see if we can get through the other side of this. I'm hoping it was just me being silly, not being able to get through there. But there's a chance that it has glitched out. It may have opened after we reloaded it as well. Or maybe it's meant to be closed. But normally there's these paths through and you attack in order to break a few things that are blocking the way. But it seems that that's not possible for us. Okay, I think we're going to have to use one of these. And that'll mean that these don't get reduced for a set amount of time, which is really handy. So we literally just will run all the way back to yeah, the middle bit of the upside down heart. And that bit can be quite dangerous as well. So we're going to try and be as fast as we can. We've got an extra slot for... Oh, we haven't actually got an extra slot for eating, have we? My mistake there. I thought we ate, but when you drink a potion, you don't get rid of the glass that that holds it to you. So, okay, it's okay. That's what I mean by always doing the running attacks can be problematic. Sometimes I'd like to just be slashing behind me, but I don't come off with a run key. Go straight through this room. and then we go up or north from the next room. Here we go, yeah, this one. And you notice, yeah, stats are still locked. That's why this potion's particularly good in here. Now this area is a risky area to be in. Broadly speaking, you can freeze to death quite easily if you're not keeping an eye on things. I think, well, this is a shortcut out to the starting area. There'll be two of these that you find in the game. So I think this one takes us over to the right side of the beach. I noticed when I first played through that this didn't stay though. That I couldn't come back in here if I didn't have my lantern at least. But I did see in the patch notes for the new beta that maybe that has been addressed. If it's intended to be addressed at least. Okay. So I remember when I first stumbled, because this is in the middle of the ice cave, right? For me, I wasn't expecting to find anything like epic or massive. I knew that there was another floor below me. Because I remember I got scared and ran from the ice caves and just carried on at one point because I kept almost dying in the cold. And then I stumbled across this and I was just like, well, what's this? I find the camera kind of perspective, the zoom on it is really effective. Giving that sense of how small you are compared to everything else. Okay, so this is great. If you don't have the lantern on, everything blocks you around you. It's really, I love the effect that you got in here. I think these creatures are in here because you can gain crystals from killing them. And you basically need crystals in here, otherwise you'll be stuck, right? So I've done this before, so I'm quite aware that it's relatively safe on the way in. It's on the way out that you need to be more cautious. It's really satisfying sound of the bricks falling down around you as well. So I'm thinking, I can't remember if there are secrets to be found in these areas, but I do know that there's more risks on the way up, so to do the exploration when it's safe is not a bad shout. I'm wondering how the temperature is in here as well. Okay, I think we're just going down to this bottom floor. Yeah. Okay, we'll have a quick look at the temperature now. Okay, we're doing okay. Just keep moving. I think we're cold. I think the little bits of steam that are coming out to represent your breath implies that you're in a place where it's so cold you're going to lose your temperature kind of stat. The music here is great as well. There's something so alien as well about everything, the kind of the power you see in this game. which only adds to the sense of wonder. Okay. So I know that I'm going to lose temperature if I stay and hang about there. That is how I died the first time I came in here. I was trying to see if there was anything more in there, then I got to this point and I had nothing left to keep me warm. So you have these turrets, or these towers on the way out, that you need to deactivate through shining your light at them. I didn't know whether they caused harm or anything in the beginning. I don't think they do. They shine a light onto you, but I've not seen what it does. But essentially, you need to go back the way that you came, but you need to deactivate all of these turrets before you are able to leave. So we've got one up here, and then you come across little rooms that you'll need to clear with either traps around or just enemies that you need to kill before you can exit. They drop a fair amount of... it looks like they drop more crystals than they do, but it's just the animation as you break the kind of crystal creatures into shards. Okay, there's things that constantly move like this, and then you've got yourself some kind of this is the equivalent of the traps down here, I guess, but they're kind of predictable traps, right? So we're trying to get back out. Am I really? Pretty sure I didn't come this way, did I? No. Am I getting schooled by the puzzle here? No, here we go. Well, I think I still did the amount of time that took. Okay, yeah, so here's the final one here, and then every time you get rid of all of them, it'll zoom out, and that gives you that visual cue that you've cleared the room. We're doing okay in terms of stats at the moment. Now, there are some traps that in this area that will kill you in one. They're predictable. They're not like, they don't catch you by surprise, but they're they can still be dangerous. I have died to them once. And any little bit of damage we take now seems like it's not a big deal, but that could be the difference between one of the traps killing you or not killing you. So these ones are ones that react to your movement as you go past them, and you find other ones that will just constantly be going up and down. So like these ones in here are just constantly up and down. Whereas the ones prior to that kind of like activated by your motion on top of them, so you can't stand still on top of them. Okay, we're getting thirsty at this point. I'm going to play it safe and take one of those. This area is very... well, I'd say it's a risky area, because the traps can really kill you, and you can get to a point where you can't really stand still for long, but you need to drink and stuff, so I think it's, I'm happy to consume quirky. Okay, so this one's an interesting one. So you got the constantly moving patterns outside, but then we got these pressure sensitive. Definitely a pattern here, right? I think we can run in here. Yeah, good. We managed to get through that. Okay. Here's an example of if you lunge accidentally, it can cause quite a lot of health damage. So this one will come next. So we're going kind of anti-clockwise around. That's fine. So you can come across some of the traps which are like big blocks of wall that crush in on each other. They're the ones that are kind of insta-kill region. The rest of them tend to just take a good chunk of damage but won't one-shot you. But we might have been lucky and avoided those sort of traps. We might be coming up to the top floor of this, where we'll be faced with something that's trying to stop us getting out. Yeah, okay, so we have bandages, we have enough of these. And first time I thought this, it's like, holy cow, what is going on? Oh, now you... Oh. Oh no, that was the worst. I hit him once. I'm not too sure how the opening thing works, like the mechanics behind it. I tend to always... I have this moment of panic thinking, is it going to just turn around and hit me? Or can I actually... No, 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 no! I've never been caught in that before. I thought it might be a one-shot. Do you see what I mean though? I didn't know whether it was going to open or not to allow me to damage it. Ooh. I definitely didn't make a little screamy noise thinking I died then. Not me. I think it might be when if it hits into a wall, I thought, but there's no obvious like hitting a wall kind of animation going on either, you know? So I'm not sure what allows it to be kind of damaged. Like to open up the armor, you know? Like this, so this is an area where, you know, if you're getting cold or hungry, it's a difficult one to stay still during. So that's why I took that potion before coming here. Oh, now you... Again, it started doing the electric thing. And then it stopped. I mean, it's not a terrible thing that it's not consistent. Too much consistency can make it too easy. Right, it should run at me, I think. Okay, so I think it is. It must be when it boshes into a wall or makes some collision during that attack. So we'll try and keep closer to the wall when it charges us. Yeah. I see it did it then, but yeah, just some inconsistencies with it. As we said, that's okay. Oh, okay, that was bad. Use a bandage. Oh, wow, I'm getting very cold at the moment. Okay, good. Get out quickly before I freeze to death. You see why this area is quite easy for you to die on. I don't know if we can eat something to help with temperature. I'm not sure how it works. I've forgotten. Oh, holy smokes, hang on. This is going to be difficult. We need to get to a fire very quickly. Because this is cold here as well. It's good that we've done this, but I'm very concerned we could die here. We could die. I don't think eating food alone, unless it's cooked, helps with temperature. And we're about to die based on that logic. Sugar. Where's the likely... Where we like... Ah, okay, okay, no, we can get out here. And we actually definitely will. Because all these tentacles, the first time we've actually seen them on this playthrough, are surrounding us. Oh, that was a close end. Thankfully we're now in the pouring rain, which actually feels warm after being where we were. And we can relax just for a second. Okay, so what have we got left of the ice cave? let's have a look. We don't have much, so I think what we'll do, as much as that was intense, we're going to go back in. We're going to get out of this area, and then we'll wrap up this this episode of the Let's Play. Our temperature's okay. We don't have food, but I think we can survive. Our thirst is a slight issue too, but we don't have that much more to explore. I'm curious whether or not we might need to... What? Why am I doing another bandage? I'm not sure why it was making a bandage noise there. I didn't press anything. I'm curious whether or not we should put on the dark helm, because I'm not sure. I'm going to check on my armor, just in case the tentacles are still there when I go back, which they very well may be. Okay, no, it's a lot lighter now. Good. Okay, we're in a rush though. We've got a fire here. We would have been okay. We would have been okay. It was all a bit of panic. That's one thing this game definitely does well. You set mini objectives in this game, just getting back to your corpse, staying alive, making it to the next bonfire, making it to the next heat source, you know, finding food. When you run onto a screen and there's little critters that you need to kill, or to get their food, it's such a win moment, you know. And it's such a difficult moment when you kill them and then there's no meat on them for you to have, and you're on your last dregs of food. Now, I've played it quite, in terms of food management, I've played it quite well, or I've not been in a situation where I'm constantly having to balance or, you know, eat everything that I find in order to stay alive. So that's been good. But, you know, when I've been in this section of the game before, it's not been like that at all. It's been killing the white wolves in this area, hoping to find meat, running from one place to another, then starting to freeze, not having any stews to keep me warm because I've eaten all the meat which would make up the components of the stew. So yeah, it can be different down here based on the supplies that you bring with you. So thirst is our main concern at the moment. Heat is okay. We just need to find our ways out of this room. Sorry, Wolfie. Please give us some meat, would you? It wasn't in vain. Good job. Okay, excellent. The ice cave is done. I'm pretty sure. Yes. And this is the place that will allow you to exit back into that section we walked past earlier, where there's you knock out a chunk of ice in the wall, which allows you to come back in through this way. But prior to exiting this way, this section where we're leaving now, yeah, it was closed. So there we go. Great. So I think we'll head down. We kind of need to go back, really, because as much as we can go down, we don't want to go through all the layers again. So we fully explored the ice area. I'm trying to think the best course of action here would probably be if we just go upwards to the 3rd floor. We need to get back to the beach, essentially, and that'll give us a good starting point in the next Let's Play, so we can get straight down to that dark area and try and survive. And, yeah, see if we can make it all the way through without losing a life, which would be really good. So my objective on this floor now is to really get back to... Ooh, we don't have 200, no, so we still can't use that. Remember, there was the hole in the wall where you can place 200 gems in order to gain access to something. And I mean, what it gives you access to isn't particularly powerful for the playstyle I'm trying right now, which is trying to go through without dying. So it's... Oh, that was useful, actually, the water as well. It's not something that of great urgency for me to try and achieve on this playthrough. I'm trying to work out, do I want to go over to here and get out? I think I do. So yeah, we'll follow the south route out. Get back to the beach. We could do with finding some more of the blood moss, you know, the kind of spongy-like looking object that you use to make bandages. Because we had an abundance of that to begin with, and now we've got a bunch of the stones and not the blood moss. So, okay, we could do with at least one piece of string as well. So we'll keep an eye out for some of those leftover traps if we haven't cut them and claimed the string from them yet. Oh, those creatures are so quick. Okay, so north is that area I was just talking about a moment ago, that you need 200 gems to get to. Oh my word, see how fast it goes. That's how you run onto traps if you haven't explored the areas, chasing down little intriguing things or food out of desperation. Now, fortunately, we're in a position where we know we've gone through here once, so we should have killed any, or, you know, triggered or removed any of the main dangers. Okay, left and up. Oh, actually, do you remember we came across the closed section which needed the hammer to open it, but we hadn't found the hammer at which point. And that was the only place we were unable to open on our way down so far, so... Yeah, there it is. So if we are to... do that, should allow us then to... There's an enemy left in here. Okay, and we've got an item we don't have room for. I'm going to get rid of this one, because I believe this is one that I've actually found the benefit of. I think you do damage back to enemies if they hit you. So it's not a bad one to have. And it's less situational. Oh, I mean, it does depend on you getting a hit to get a benefit from it, but still. We'll leave the little, the iris helm, which I believe is to do with using your bow and arrow. Oh, there's a spike over here. Didn't clear this room very well. Okay, so if we can just head out to the beach now, we should be good. And we'll have everything fully explored down until the darkness. And I don't think we're going to go through and explore every corner of the darkness, because we're increasing our chance of death significantly in doing so. You need a big supply of, well, someone of my skill level, I feel you need a big supply of bandages if you're going to go with that approach. I just picked up the leather there because I realised I may try and make some bandages, and I don't think I've got stacks of the weave, whereas the leather can make a pretty good bandage regardless, so keep hold of those. And then this should take us to the outdoor beach area. Yes, excellent. And that doing that ice level has managed to take our white crystal supply up significantly, which is great because we were pretty low on that last time we were about. So I might use the opportunity to use the bonfire here because it's a good place to well, one, we're wrapping up here, but secondly, we have no potions crafted or no stews crafted. So it seems, and also we have a few of these sponges now to create some bandages, so it seems a good time for us to use a campfire. It's a shame I didn't store a helmet, so I didn't have to leave that one behind, but we know where it is if we need to find it, and we don't tend to use it anyway, to be fair. It's just that completionist kind of side of me that doesn't like leaving items behind. Okay, so if we quickly cook, let's do this while it's fresh in my mind what we want to do. So we're going down below, pardon the pun, next, so... Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry people. I didn't even think of that. I managed to waste yours and my time through doing a nice 10-second animation, which is great. I mean, when you do it once, but when you have to do it 3 times because you made a mistake, it becomes that a little bit more tedious, right? Okay. So what I wanted to do was the cook, and we need to think where we're going to next. We're going to the dark area, which is full of tentacles and dark enemies. I'm going to have my dark helm, which will help with reducing the damage we take. So I don't think we need a particular defensive potion, but what we do want is something that can restore our health and thirst, because I don't know if there's water down there as such either. So we're gonna go ahead and create one good, just normal stew at least. And then do we go with, because of the thirst issue, I think we might do one of these mushrooms. Let me just, yeah, we'll combine these. So that could help us. Okay, one moment. Yeah, so the last thing we wanted to do was to... Yeah, the bandages, wasn't it? So let's put some of these away. Let's take some of these out. We didn't find any string, which is a shame. I think we'll make another one of those. Yeah, we'll take this. Oh, we don't have any more sponge, do we? Okay, I guess we won't be making more of that. Okay, we'll take those out then. The leather, I don't know what we can keep in the bank, I guess, or in our storage. I find the main thing we're going to need is these arrows. We don't have many of them. I think we have some in storage, so we'll take what we've got out. Ready for where we're going next, yeah. So let's store these like so. We've got our bandages. We don't really need the torches, I don't think, but I'm wondering whether we should take one of these just in case. We're in a position. Yeah, we'll take this. We'll take one of these in case we find a sponge, and it gives us an opportunity to create a new bandage. And then to make more of these, we need that as well. Okay, great. So our inventory is pretty tidy. Ah, we did drop. So I thought there was a couple of things missing. Yeah, our inventory is tidy. Oh, I should drop them instead of pressing the button to place them in. Did we? We haven't found any more marbles. In terms of helmets, I don't think we're going to be in the ice area again. So I'm not sure we'll have any benefit in continuing with this piece here. We might find some more armor that we want to keep. The weapons, we might need to fish with this There might be another button. I don't think there is, but there might be. So it seems sensible to keep that for now. And then in terms of our food supply, at the moment this might be our last adventure down, you know? So I think we're going to take what we can. Yeah. I mean, why leave the extra bit? Let's just do it this way. Okay, so we have our food and everything ready. This is as good as we're going to get at the moment. So the final thing now is what we're going to do when we get out of here is we'll be looking at getting back to the main beach where there's a shortcut to take us to the kind of cliff face we're scaling down that will lead us down to the bit where we need to make the jump down into the water, where you can't kind of backtrack on your steps that way. So yeah, we'll go into that in the next video, and hopefully that will be the well, I say hopefully it'll be the final one. We still will need to go and collect all the fragments as well. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe one or two more episodes of this Let's Play left to get through. But yeah, we're at a good point here. You've seen my inventory. You've seen my lantern progress as well. And we'll be continuing from this point when we play next time. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves.